everybody, welcome to Hector T Talks. I'm your host, Hector T, and today we're starting the new channel. That's right, this is our first video on the channel. I'm so excited, and because of the excitement, we're going to start things off with an unboxing review video. I'm actually going to go ahead and do a review of this hard drive. And what we have is the PNY 480GB solid state drive. This thing is awesome. Now, I seen it on Newegg. It was on sale for about 120 bucks. And of course, I walked into Best Buy one day and I saw the same exact thing for 90 bucks. I'm like, screw Newegg, I'm going straight to Best Buy. So, yeah, because, you know, unfortunately right now I don't get products to test and review and stuff. I buy them all. So, mostly any videos on here you see about reviews and stuff, it's because I bought it, or I won it, or I somehow, I got it. I received it somewhere, somehow, but it's never from the companies. I'll let you know when it's from the companies. But, yeah, no, this, of course, I bought this, my own money, but it's all good, because it was on sale, it wasn't even that expensive. But, yeah, so I highly advise you, if you live in the United States, get over to Best Buy. If you live in the country with Best Buy, get the hell over to it. It's on sale, and it's not going to last forever. But yeah, it is a great hard drive. It is 480GB, which is basically the same as 500GB hard drive, just maybe a little bit more, because that's actually 480 total capacity. That's a little bit more than a mechanical hard drive, which is the hard disks, because I have one in here, and that has 469 gigabytes total. There's no recovery partition on that either. So, you actually get a little bit more with solid states. But no, it's great. It is, of course, it's a SATA 3 interface, so it's 6 gigabits per second. Performance, the sequential read rate is 550 megabytes per second. Sequential write is 520 megabytes per second. These are some pretty high numbers for the price I paid for this. It also has 2 million hours estimated for the MTBF time, which in translation means you have 2 million hours to use this thing before it starts actually messing up. And of course, in the box, you got the solid state drive, the spacer, so you can put it in a regular drive bay, and a True Image software license, which is great because it's pretty much imaging and utilities software for the hard drive. So say if I wanted to make a carbon copy of everything that's on this hard drive right now that I'm using, because it's a 500 gig, I could do that with that Crooner software, make that image, put it directly on this hard drive, switch them out, and it'd be almost seamless. And I say almost seamless because it would load a lot faster with this hard drive than the one I'm currently using. But everything else would be exactly the way it is. The software is actually really nice. I used it before. Let's see, we also have a 3-year limited warranty, which is great, and it is live US-based tech support. So when I call them, it's going to be live, and it's going to be US-based. It's not going to be outsourced or anything like that, which is great. Let's see, and of course it works with Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP, Linux, and Mac. It's pretty much for any system because it's just a hard drive. So it's great. Yeah, so I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Alright, so here we have a quick test, quick benchmark test that I did. As you can see, this is just the Western Digital hard drive that I have in there already. It's 500 gigs, same size, almost, as the PNY drive, the brand new drive. And let's see, this is just the read speeds. The sequential read was 66.6 megabytes per second. The 4K random read was 0.346 megabytes a second. And that was with the 50 megabyte size test. The 1 gigabyte size test was a little bit faster. It was 68.367. With the random 4K, it was 0.281. And then the 4 gigabyte size test was obviously the fastest. It was 71.739 megabytes per second with 0.245 megabits per second. So obviously, of course, the higher the test size, the faster the drive got. until you got to except for the 4K, the random 4K read speeds, which steadily got slower, which is kind of interesting. Now, here we go with the PNY drive speeds. As you can see, significantly different, much faster. We have, and these of course are the read speeds. The sequential read on 50 meg size test is 409 megabytes per second, which is pretty fast, with 28.8 megabits per second on the random 4K read speed. And the 1 gigabyte size test was 453.5 megabytes per second, with 30.8 megabits per second on the 4K random speed. And then, of course, the big one, the 4 gigabyte size test, was 473.7 megabits per second, with 26.574 random 4K speed. So as you can see, another growing trend where the bigger the test, the file size, the faster it goes. But with the 4K random read speeds, it isn't slowing down necessarily, because as you can see, the 1 gig file was kind of in the middle, in between there, but significantly different than the regular hard drive, where these are actually in the range of megabytes per second, whereas before, since there was 0.2 and 0.300 megabytes per second on the regular hard drive, that's initially actually correlating to kilobytes per second speed rather than megabytes per second speed. So significant difference there. And here we go with the write speeds. Western Digital drive, staggering 62.288 megabits per second on the 50 megabyte size test, with impressive 1.789 megabits per second, which is about 438.2 IOPS on the random 4K speed. 60.3 megabits per second on the 1 gig size test, but with 1 megabit per second random 4K, and 68 on the 4 gigabyte size test, with 0.723 megabits per second random 4K. So as you can see, the trend again, where the random 4K write speed has steadily decreased through the bigger size tests. Now on the PNY drive, obviously blown the Western Digital drive away. 417 megabits per second on the 50 meg test, 410 on 1 gig size test, and 417 on the 4 gig size test. And then, of course, the IOPS, incredible, 67.364 megabits per second, or 16,000 IOPS, 75 on the 1 gig and 4 gig, both at 18,000 IOPS. So, huge difference there.
Alright, so after about a week or two, I want to say closer to 2 weeks of testing it, running a bunch of tests, benchmarks, playing games on it, doing a lot of stuff, it still is quite adequate in keeping its performance at the same level, which is great, because even though I know it says it's 2 million hours before it's time to mess up, the MTBF thing, I know it's actually going to take a while for this drive, hopefully, to start decreasing in performance. So even though I didn't get the speeds, the 500s range, I know I probably won't at all ever on this computer, simply because I'm running an old Phenom, and this was probably tested with something, either a new Intel or maybe even an FX processor by AMD. Something newer, obviously. So definitely, if I upgrade my computer, we might be able to get something better. But for now, it's good. It's good the way it is. And I like it. And I love the fact that it came with a Crunus True Image. Because that's some really good, useful software that, if you're doing a lot of imaging with it, like, pretty much like what I did. I actually imaged my other hard drive and just planted it right on to this SSD, so everything, it was just mirrored on. It was fantastic. So definitely, if you want to make sure that you have something good for imaging, this is the way to go, because Acronis, it doesn't get easier and faster than that. Like, I've seen a lot of imaging stuff. This is very good stuff. But definitely well worth the price, well worth the performance. Great hard drive. But, you know, that's just, for me, that's just my review. That's just my opinion of it. I'm sure, you know, not everybody's going to get these kinds of speeds. Some people, depending on your computer, you might get a slower speed. Some people are obviously going to get a higher speed if you have a better computer than I do. So it really just varies about what kind of hardware you have in your computer. But overall, you should have a very good experience with this hard drive. So I will deem this 9 out of 10 stars, simply because it's great, it's perfect, and the only thing I'd say is, instead of a spacer, which is great for the laptop, um, a drive spacer probably would have been cooler to put in here, because when in my desktop, which, you know, I kind of had to find a mount to put it in there. But then again, some people just mount in the back of the motherboard, so it doesn't really matter. But other than that, great hard drive, great product. Definitely will be getting more whenever I can. But of course, you know, PNY, if you're watching, you want to send me some hard drives review, no problem there, just let me know. But, like I said, my opinion, this thing is awesome. It rocks. Rocks your socks off. But don't take my word from it. Get out there, go to Best Buy. If it's on sale, get it. If it's not, get it anyways. It's well worth it. And check it out for yourself. And of course, you know, comment below in the section. Let me know what kind of speeds you get. You know, what you found that this drive can handle on your computer. Let me know. You know, just compare, contrast throughout the community. It'd be something cool to do. But yeah, so that's the review. Other than that, just good drive overall. I really like it. I enjoy this hard drive. It's great. Like, it's beyond words. Let's just put it at that. Like, it's incredible. So yeah. So of course, if you like the video, you know what to do. If you don't like the video, you know what to do. And of course, subscribe for more videos on the channel. We'll do some more unboxing, more of everything. And of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out. If you aren't subscribed to my gaming channel, make sure you check it out. Like some videos, subscribe to it, do whatever. It's up to you. I don't care. Just make sure you know you're coming back. Share the love. But that's it for this review. You know, stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you on the flip side.